Hi everybody and welcome back to Miss Angler's biology class. I am Miss Angler. In today's video, we are going to do a highly requested topic, which is evolution in today's context. This particular video is going to take ideas and content that you've learned before, like natural selection, and we're going to apply it to a real world situation, something that you would see in an exam or a test. And often these are the questions and the topics that we always get wrong because we learn the theory off by heart, but we don't know how to apply it to a real world scenario. I have also used the examples from your exam guidelines to guide this video because often these are the exact examples they use in our final exams. Now, if you are new here, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed with your notifications turned on because I post every Tuesday and Thursday. And I would love for everyone to leave a comment down below of any questions they have on evolution or any videos that they would like to see that they can't find in the already existing playlists for grade 10 to 12. Also, don't forget that you can get your hands on my cheat sheet study guide. I am going to feature a page of it in this video as well if you'd like to see an example of what's in it and how you can use it to improve your marks and get that distinction you deserve. Now, diving into the content of the video today, what we need to understand is that evolution is continuous. And as we see very simply in the diagram on the screen now, we can see that life on Earth has changed over time. And we've had some major events, like we've had life emerge 3.8 billion years ago. We've had the Great Oxidation period. We've gone on to the very first evidence of photosynthesis on the planet, and we've kind of fast forward, because that's all in billions, if you notice here, we fast forward to a very important moment for us, at least, in the last few million years, is hominins. That's us starting to walk on Earth. Now, we often think of evolution as something that's old and a long time ago and not happening today. But the point of this video is to show you how natural selection is currently occurring in different populations of all different organisms on Earth, and I'm going to show you how to actually explain it using the knowledge you've already learned. Now, one of the most classic examples that we see in exams that you need to be able to explain is antibiotic resistance. Now, before I explain exactly how you are going to apply the knowledge that you've already learned to this in an exam, I just want to clarify a few things that I've picked up very frequently in past exam sessions with my own pupils and with matric marking. Is we don't really understand what drug resistance means, and therefore we can't actually even use our previous knowledge. So this is how it works. We have a group or a population of bacteria over here, and you'll notice they're color coordinated. Now, the sensitive strain, they are ones that are going to be affected by antibiotics because they're sensitive to it. I think a better word, however, would be that they are non-resistant. And I want to use the word non-resistant because we use the word also resistance, right? So they're non-resistant to antibiotics. They have, unfortunately, the unfavorable gene. Okay? And I hope you recognize me using the word unfavorable from an explanation on natural selection, but we'll get back to that. And then we have these red individuals, and we actually only have one here, which is often the case. You have like a mutant. They are antibiotic resistant, which means they have the favorable gene. Why is it favorable? It's not favorable to us because we want this bacteria to go away. It's favorable to them because they are resistant to the antibiotics. They won't die. Okay, so that's why it's the favorable gene. They will survive. So the non-resistant, I'm going to put here, die, and the favorable genes, they survive. And so essentially what happens is you take your antibiotics, you kill the sensitive or the non-resistant bacteria, and unfortunately what happens is bacteria reproduce via binary fission, which means they basically copy and paste themselves over and over again. And because the resistant bacteria survive, they multiply exponentially, and you end up ending up with hundreds and thousands of these now mutants, or what we would call the resistant strain. And so what you have, if we see in this little picture over here, is a conversion. You have healthy, or let's not use the word healthy, you have non-resistant bacteria here in green becoming resistant. And that's problematic, because what it means is your antibiotics will no longer work. Now, how do we use what we have learnt in our lessons before and also in our previous videos on natural selection? So I want to show you a page out of my cheat sheet, and I think it's going to make your life a lot easier. So first, I'm just going to move this diagram just out of our way and make it a bit smaller. I'm going to keep referring to it because it's going to help us kind of unpack this. But I wanted to show you the page that I've taken out of the study guide, the cheat sheet, for you to have a look at. So this is an explanation of how you would explain natural selection, right? Step by step. The problem is this explanation is just general. It doesn't have any examples in it. It doesn't tell you how to apply it to this this drug-resistant bacteria. And that's exactly what it is. It is an example of natural selection that leads to evolution. So what we need to do is all of the explanations that we have here, all these bullet points, we need to actually change them and make them suitable to explain antibiotic resistance. So these are some of the changes that I would expect to see. So I'm going to start off with the first bullet point. It says there's a large number of offspring created and have large amounts of variation. The thing that I would change there, and I'm going to write it up here above, is I would include that there is variation specifically in bacteria. So that's what you need to say. You need to include the example that you're using, which is bacteria. For the second bullet point, it says some have favorable characteristics and others don't. I would substitute that in there and say some have resistance, which is the favorable trait. Remember, you know, bacteria want to resist the antibiotics. Some have resistance while others don't, or you could say others are not resistant. That could be the alternative when you're writing your answer. Then for the third one, it says an environmental change occurs which leads to competition. Now, you can't just say that as is. The environmental change is the antibiotic. It's the selective force. Just like a predator is selecting whether you live or die as an animal because you might have a weakness, you know, survival of the fittest. In this instance, bacteria, their survival of the fittest is whether they can survive antibiotics. So for that one, I wouldn't write an environmental change occurs. I would say when taking antibiotics, a change will occur in the competition for resources, because that's what's happening. They're changing for their resources of, you know, space and safety and food and things like that. And in this instance, taking antibiotics is the environmental change. You're changing the environment. You then go on to say for the next bullet point, it says those more suited with the favorable trait. And please remember, I'm going to write it on here. Every time you see favorable, you're not just going to write favorable. You must write resistant or resistance, because remember, you're applying it to what we've learned. They survive. Next bullet point says whilst organisms with the unfavorable, which remember that means unfavorable was non-resistant characteristics makes them less suited and they die. The organisms, and now you can't just leave the organisms, you must say the bacteria. So I'm just going to write that on the side here. The bacteria that survive, reproduce, passing on the allele for the favorable characteristic. Now that's our next point, and you can't just leave it as that. You're going to have to substitute that the favorable allele is for resistance. So the allele for resistance is passed on to the offspring, And the last one you can kind of leave as is. The next generation will have a higher proportion of individuals with the favorable characteristic, or you could say individuals with the resistant characteristic. And that's how you use this very simple explanation of natural selection, but you can apply it to antibiotics. Now, one last one that I'm not going to explain in excessive detail because it's actually just a repetitive kind of answer that we've already done is pesticides. So insects can be resistant to pesticides in the same way that bacteria can be resistant to antibiotics. It follows the same idea. You're going to describe that there is variation in an animal population, in this case a beetle population. That variation is favorable, meaning resistance, unfavorable, not resistant. You now use the pesticide. So you apply the pesticide, which remember is the environmental change. And the environmental change is the selective force. It decides on what lives and dies. Any of the organisms carrying the gene, over here, I'll just highlight it for you so you can see it. The gene for pesticide resistance, these beetles, they are going to survive. And as you can see in step 2, the resistant individuals survive and reproduce. You can see all the other ones died. They pass on that favorable resistance, and more applications of pesticides will be less effective, and the percentage of resistance grows. And that is because the pesticide is killing everybody who is not favorable, which means they are not resistant. And all of those that are favorable, they're resistant, they get to survive, reproduce, and pass on that favorable gene. Now, generally at the end of a video, I would do a terminology recap, but I think what's important for this video is for everyone to go back and watch my natural selection video and then potentially follow it on with the speciation video as well of how different species arise. Remember that when we do resistance to pesticides and antibiotics, that's not speciation. It can become that, but generally in exams, they're asking natural selection and now apply it to a current example. One last example we didn't do today that maybe you'd want to think about, because it is in our guideline as well, is how HIV is resistant and can be resistant to antiretrovirals. It's exactly the same thing, everybody. It's an organism, HIV, that has become resistant to a medication, which is ARVs, and so that means that HIV no longer responds to its medication. Use natural selection to explain how this is possible. That's how they're going to ask you this. Now, if you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. If you want to get your hands on my cheat sheet, you can find it at missangler.co.za, and it has many more useful explanations, applications, way more than you've seen today. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.